Yo, what is up, guys? So today we're going to talk about a finance-related topic that I read on Blind that I think is pretty interesting, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested as well, and it's around investment property. The thread says, which is a better rental property, a house or an apartment? So let's just jump right into this. So it says, being new to this, the obvious naive things that stand out to me, and it looks like he's talking about the pros and cons. So house, no HOA, potentially higher rent income, but tougher to find tenants and more expensive to buy. Okay, yeah, that's true in most cases. Apartment, HOA. Actually, I think he's talking about a condo because typically apartments are rentals or you have to rent them and not buy them. So let's just say for the sake of our argument that he's talking about condos here. So condos definitely have an HOA, lower rent income, but easier to find tenants and also cheaper to buy. And then he says, I guess maintenance cost for a house is higher too in the Seattle area if it makes a difference. Please comment with why you think either is better. Hashtag personal finance, so on and so forth. So yeah, just right off the bat, which is a better rental property, a house or an apartment or a condo? I'll just kind of give you guys my personal experience on this. And I'll say right off the bat that I've never owned a condo. I can't really speak to that, but I do know people who have. And I actually used to live in a place where the owner was going to sell the condo and he had to ask us to all move out after the lease ended because he realized that the condo was just not profitable. He said to me before we parted ways that the condo just had a lot more HOA. I think he was paying around $300, $400 a month, which is basically just money out the drain. The appreciation, I think he had it for a little bit over 2 years and it barely appreciated, 5 figures. And so he was actually losing money on the condo. And it just didn't make sense. This was in Santa Clara, which is a pretty nice area. And so you would think that there would be some appreciation potential. But being in the Bay Area, everything's expensive. And so I think he had paid anywhere from like 1.2, 1.3 million for this 2-bedroom condo. So he decided to sell it. And he said he was going to invest that money into a single family house. So that's kind of an anecdotal information. I also own a single family house in Austin, Texas. And there is a small HOA. I think it's around $50 a month, so it's negligible. The rental income is definitely higher, obviously, because with a single family house, you're getting a backyard, you're getting a driveway, you're getting a garage, and all the different amenities and features that comes with a single family house. Is it tougher to find tenants? The first time that I had to look for a tenant, it took me roughly 2 weeks to find someone on Zillow and roughly about a week or so to vet 3 or 4 candidates. And it wasn't that difficult. Depending on the time of the year, it can definitely be tough to find tenants and also depending on the location. But right now, I do think that there's just not a lot of supply of housing to begin with. And a lot of the rents are going up. So I don't think that's a huge concern for either rental property. Now, a house is definitely going to be more expensive to buy, depending on the location, of course, but just looking at the Bay Area, I would say that the average, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, single family house that was built anywhere from 1980 to early 2000s, it's probably going to range anywhere from about $1 million to 1.7, 1.8, depending on the location. And so if you're going to put 20% down, that's over $300K that you're going to have to come up with. On the other hand, a condo will definitely be cheaper, depending on the location, right? If you want to find a condo in SF, it's not going to be cheap at all. My overall perspective, and this guy says Seattle area. Seattle area, from what I know, that place has been blowing up like crazy over the last couple of years. Big tech has been expanding in that area like crazy, especially with Amazon expanding and pretty much taking over downtown. You also have Microsoft, you have Google, you have all these other tech companies and startups that are dominating that area. And so everything has been going up, including housing, condos, houses, food costs, just everything in general. And so I would say right now, if you're thinking about buying a place, I would say that now is not a good time. But when things kind of settle down a bit, I would give advice to this OP that from an investment perspective, a house is definitely going to be better 9 times out of 10. Now, there might be the odd scenario where a condo does make sense, where you can maybe turn it into an Airbnb, or there's different ways that you can rent out a property. But for the most part, and also long-term appreciation potential, assuming that all things are equal and the location's good and everything else, I would say go with a house. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think. Do you have experience with either investment property or both? If you have some advice for this OP or for other folks, drop it in the comments down below. Like this video, share it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.